Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode on The AJ Show. I'm AJ, as always, and if you're new, thank you for joining me. So, today we are talking about how to know if you're transgender. First, we gotta know what transgender is. So I just looked up on Google transgender, and it says, a person whose self-identity does not conform unambiguously to conventional notions of male or female gender. In simplest terms, it's your self-identity, what you think of yourself as, does not match up of what they identify you as at birth. That makes it kind of easier to understand, but going through it, it's always more complicated. Everybody's different, and so not two stories or not two people will have the same experiences. Some people have to discover it, or some people have to make a decision, or they already know, they don't want to. It just depends. And whenever, you know and you feel comfortable enough to make that, to tell other people, just make sure you're safe. I can only tell you through my experiences and my stories, and I kind of made a decision. It was I feel like it was more like a decision. Like I knew, but I had to decide to like actually go through with it. And that took me about 3 to 4 year process. When I was younger, I kind of always knew I didn't identify as girl or female or anything. When I was when I was younger, like elementary school, I just identified, I wanted to identify as tomboy, but I just kind of just didn't identify. I just knew I hated when they called me girl. No, just don't call me anything. And then kind of throughout high school as well, I still was just like, no, I'm not, don't call me girl. I'm an athlete. So that's kind of how I took it. And so throughout my years, I wasn't educated on transgender or, that it existed. That's where I was. So my freshman year of college, actually it was my sophomore year of college, 2011, I met somebody who is transgender. He's my friend. The first time I met him, he told me he was transgender and he was really open. And I had all these questions for him because I've never known anybody. I've never met a transgender person, and he was FTM, and so he had no problem giving me information and telling me things. I kept telling him, like, you're so courageous for doing this, because I knew deep down in my head that I thought at that point that I would never be able to do that. Like, I would never be able to be that strong to do that. Unfortunately, when we were talking and stuff, at that time I was a little under the influence, so I don't remember much of our conversation. So 2011, that was kind of like the end of 2011. So then 2012, I kind of just barely knew. Like I still didn't know a lot. I just knew that there's something called transgender. Mostly is what I knew. And then 2012, I kind of was just like, put it in the back of my mind, kind of just went through life and didn't really think about it. It was too many what ifs, and I met 2 other transgender people, and now my friends, both of them FTM. And I thought that at that time, like I was already too old, like I couldn't transition now, and they knew for so long, and but hearing their stories made me realize that I can, like I do have the power to do that, and I can do that. Also in 2012, I was going to ASU, and I went to the LGBTQA coalition at ASU held a transgender panel. So I went to that, and there was 6 transgender people, 3 FTMs and 3 MTFs, and I heard all their stories, and it just kind of made me feel more and more empowering. Like I could do this. I can follow my happiness. Like these people were able to do it, and if they can, so can I. And so thank you to everybody that I've met and all the things that I've watched. Thank God that I was able to do that in my life, and that helped me, realize that there is a way, and I could be happy. I could do it. I don't have to live the way I was living and be unhappy. Like, it gave me hope, but then at the same time it gave me fear. I was afraid of all the what ifs. I was afraid of what would happen with my family. I was afraid of what my friends would say. I was afraid that, people would just disregard my decision or disregard what I was saying to them. I didn't really say anything. I kept it to myself, but I kind of knew. I pretty much almost I knew I was transgender. I just was keeping it hidden because I was afraid. So in 2013, I started getting really dysphoric, and it was really hard to just keep it in my head. So in 2013, my girlfriend at the time, I told her. She was the very first person I told. I had told other people I was like thinking, or I would just kind of talk to them about it, but not really. But she was the first person I came out to, the first person I told that I am, and she was extremely supportive, and she told me that she understood and that that she could see it too, and it was just really great. It was a great push. I needed that. She helped me through that, and she was like the only person I told. By the end of 2013, I probably told like 3 people tops. Kept it, but it felt good. It kind of gave me a relief. There is still that fear though, that fear of the unknown, that made me not want to tell everybody. But things just kept getting kind of more worse for me. I kept looking at myself like, I have to do this. I can't keep waiting. By the end of 2014, I pretty much told all of my friends, 1 or 2 family members, and some of my coworkers. So it was really great. Like it was really starting to come together. And then the end of 2014, I packed up. 2015, I moved to California, and I told everybody. I told all my family. I started binding, started wearing my packer, and I started transitioning. Everybody, it's different. We all go through different things, different experiences. We learn things at different times, and when you finally feel safe and comfortable and able to come out, it's going to be great, and that's going to be your time. Now it's my time, and I can't wait for everybody who's waiting. I can't wait for it to be your time as well. It was a long journey, and I'm glad I'm here. So, if you're still wondering, if you're still not sure if you're transgender or not, do your research. Keep learning. Knowledge is power. So keep learning about yourself, keep learning about all these different topics, and you'll start figuring it out. And if you just know, well then congratulations. I'm happy for you that you know. It's always different for everybody. So that was the end of that episode. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more episodes. You guys enjoy your day, enjoy your week, your weekend. Enjoy your lives. Bye.